There's Bob and Katie. We got them lined up in April. We got a fishing show coming up here in Jersey. If anybody's from New Jersey listening, it's going to be held in Oak Ridge, New Jersey, at Jimmy G's Bar and Grill North on Route 23. And it's going to be a fun day. We got some great speakers coming in, and it's absolutely free. So you can learn everything you need to know about freshwater fishing in the state of New Jersey, and listen to some great speakers. And as for the season,
that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, and as for the season, we're still lining up so much stuff in so many different places to go fish. We have some stuff opening up in Maine, and we just really enjoy hitting the road and meeting great anglers.
Well, and just getting out there and, you know, being able to share the dream.
And that's what it is. And we're and we're all following it.
Why isn't that the truth? You know, one of the things is you fish in a lot colder waters. Now, at what time, Richie, can you guys actually start bass fishing? How quickly does the ice come off the water, and how much time does it take, you know, for the fish to come up and start reacting?
Well, here in New Jersey, we usually get out on the water by mid-March. By like mid-March, the ice is pretty much starting to lift off the lake, and I'll start fishing the smaller waters at first because the ice is off them quicker because they warm up a little faster. But usually by the end of March, April is when the bite starts turning on. As soon as that ice is off, you can catch fish any time of the year at any place. It's just finding the right tactic that's going to do it. And that's by studying water temperature, the bait they're feeding on, and the fish you're going after. You can go for colder water fish like your perch, your crappie. They'll be biting right off the bat probably in March. And that bass bite would be slow, but again, if you trigger them using slow techniques, the WackOJig is one of them. I like fishing some lipless crankbaits. I think they're a big key for early spring fishing here in the north. And just patience. I mean, you can catch fish. It's going to be a little slower, but you can hook up if you're fishing the right baits. And that's the important thing. Just know the fish that you're going after, know their feeding habits, and you'll be in the money.
Well, and it is, it's a lot more difficult when those fish are sluggish, especially the bass, because we're always looking for that reaction bite from those bass to give us a little bit of a fight, and they don't do that when the water's real cold, and they're just kind of lazing around, and you almost have to throw the bait right on the top of their head to get their attention. Yeah,
to provoke that bite. And, scent also plays a huge part, too, in my early spring fishing. I love to throw some PowerTeam Lures. They sell this nice little scent that you put on. It's called Hog Tonic. And you spray this on your bait, and it's potent. And I've actually watched bass on beds not go after a lure that didn't have it on it, but once you spray this stuff on, you see them. They just inhale it.
Hold that thought. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about how scent plays a big part in your success in fishing. You're listening to Outdoors This Week. I'm Darla Bardelli, and for Alex Langer. Don't go away. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Outdoors This Week. I'm Darla Bardelli. With me is Richie Moschella, and we're talking about fishing in this cold weather, cold water, and when the fish are starting to bite, what you can do to be more successful. As we went to break, Richie brought up using scent. And Richie, that is, I think, one of my favorite tools in my tackle box.
Yeah, scent plays a huge role. When these plastics come out of the factory, and they're shipped to stores, you don't know how long they've been sitting in that package. And I mean, we all know they have scent because we smell it on our hands, but I like to have that edge. I like to put new scent on, and you buy maybe a little more of an expensive bottle, and it shouldn't cost you more than $5 for a decent scent out on any market. Yum puts out products that are scent. PowerTeam Lures sells the Hog Tonic, and that's another great scent to use. And I like spraying like all my plastics that I have in the boat with me that day with an additional scent, because I've seen, where I'm fishing a bed and I throw out my wacky worm and it falls and the bass looks like he's not interested. You spray it with some scent, you throw it on that bed, and you'll actually see the change. It actually triggers these bass to bite, and that's what we're after. We're after that, we're after that triggering of the bass, because that's what's going to make the day different for you, where your friend might not catch anything, but you might be able to boat some bass by just switching things up a little bit.
Well, and one of the things that I found is switching up scent. I mean, sometimes garlic works really good. Sometimes anise works really good. Sometimes it's a combination of things. You might need to use a crawfish scent. Kicking bass makes a handful of scents, and that I literally keep 6 different bottles of scent. Because I have found that sometimes the wrong scent can do just the opposite of what you're looking for.
Yeah, you have to be an investigator. When you go to this water and you're fishing for, bass or smallmouth, pay very close attention to where you're fishing. If there's a lot of crawfish, I would tend to use lures that look like crawfish colored plastics. And again, you match that scent. You use your crawfish scent. If you're fishing places with a lot of shad, you go after that shad scent. Also pay very close attention if the bass ever regurgitates. Sometimes they'll even cough up a little bit of what they've been feeding on, and that's the ultimate tip right there, where okay, they're feeding on crawfish, so you'll switch over to that scent, or they're feeding on shad or whatnot. But it's very, very important in this industry and when you're fishing to pay very close attention at the fish that you're going after, right to the water temps, what they're feeding on, because if you can match that, you'll have a good day out on the water, and that could be a big difference of catching fish and not catching fish.
Oh, absolutely. And I just got an email from a friend of mine who was out on the water, and she hadn't been fishing for a long time, and when she came in, it was just one of those days. 0 bites, 0 fish. It was freezing cold. The hotel they were staying in for the tournament did not have hot water. I mean, it was just one of those situations, and we've all been through it, where it happens with the no bites, no fish, nothing goes right. And the reality is that being able to just have the upper edge, whether it's a special rig that nobody else has been using in that area, or a scent, or changing up the weight of your line, or your hook size. Any of those things makes all the difference.
Yeah, and also in that personal tackle box, you have to have humor. You can't take everything so serious, and that makes your day out on the water good too.
I think you're exactly right, that you've got to have a lot of humor in your tackle box. And I always tell everybody that, there's a whole lot of luck involved in fishing. You may think that it's quite scientific, and we've got lots of baits to choose from, and certainly lots of different choices of hooks and line and rods and reels. But there is a lot of luck involved.
Yes indeed.
Well, I really appreciate you joining me, and I really look forward to when you get back on the air. I'm hoping to be able to come out there and shoot a show with you and do some fishing together, and certainly try your WackOJig. If people want more information, how can they get that?
Well, they can log on to WackOJig.com, and also for my wacko worm that I fish the PowerTeam Lures 6-stick, and you can log on to PowerTeamLures.com. And for myself, RichieMoschella.com. Log on, and I post almost monthly video clips on how to rig them and how to fish them. So It's been a pleasure.
Well, that's
talking
very
to you, Darla.
helpful, especially this time of year. And like you said, everybody starts to get cabin fever, and just being able to watch